Hey everybody, John the Editor here. Obviously, right? Before I start this video is going to start properly at this time index. But before I do that, I want to mention something that was uploaded by a guy called Raging Golden Eagle. If you're not familiar with him, there's a link to his channel in the low bar. There's also a link to his video at the top of the description of this video. If you have a young man in your life, a son, a nephew, the son of your neighbor, a brother, an employee, a young man, anybody younger than me. I'm 44 years old. If they haven't figured this stuff out by the time they get to my age, it might be too late for them because they're too stupid. They need to watch the video that Raging Golden Eagle just produced. It's advice for young men. And it's the sort of thing that a young man gets told by an older man and it changes his life. It saves his ass. Link to that in the low bar. Now, the topic of this video. Vigilante killing is apparently the new normal, especially in Canada. I did a video a couple of days ago about a vigilante named Stephanie Guthrie. Stephanie Guthrie is a vigilante who engaged, apparently, I say apparently because she hasn't been charged with a crime, engaged in a criminal conspiracy to enact vigilante justice against another man, Gregory Allen Elliott. Now, Guthrie is not a defendant in a trial. She hasn't been charged with a crime. But she did attempt to engage, apparently, I say apparently because she hasn't been charged, in a criminal conspiracy against a graphic designer who volunteered to do art and stuff for her political organization, and when he decided that he didn't like what she was doing, which was defaming and slandering somebody, he said, "I don't like this. This is just as vicious as what you're objecting to." And of course then she went on the rampage against the volunteer who had been doing artwork for her for free. Nice, huh? Anyway, there's another case, also in Ontario, Canada. A guy named Michael Sullivan, who at the time of his death was 51 years old. Yes, I said death. This guy was going for a ride on his bike and stopped to text his son, who is an adult. And while he was stopped and texting his son, Michael Sullivan, the 51-year-old cyclist, was approached by a young girl. We don't know exactly how old, but during the interaction, as he was approached by her, he pretended to take a picture of her with his cell phone camera. You know, he's sending a text, da-da-da-da-da, and he has some sort of a verbal interaction, and he goes, and he pretends to take a picture. Click. The problem is, his cell phone didn't have a functional camera. But the mother of this young girl then had a verbal interaction with Michael Sullivan where she got all worked up. "You can't take a picture of my daughter!" And he hadn't actually, he'd been kidding. And he says, like, I don't know what the verbal interaction was. He probably just realized that this was an unproductive conversation. So he got on his bike and he rode off. And then this young girl's mother told another man that Michael Sullivan was a pedophile or a predator, or that he had simply taken a picture of her daughter, which, by the way, isn't a crime. And this other man got in a black SUV and chased Michael Sullivan down, hunting him in the local neighborhood for 20 minutes, and then murdered him by hitting him with his truck. Now, Michael Sullivan didn't die immediately. He went to the hospital with catastrophic head injuries and died sometime later. And the Ontario police have been investigating this for several years, and only now have these events begun to emerge. This happened in 2013. This is very clearly a vigilante killing. And most people are going to look at it and look at the driver of the SUV as, that's the bad guy. We're not going to mostly look at that woman and go, oh, there's a woman who initiated a vigilante killing. Most people aren't going to see that. They're going to look at this entire event and say that the bad guy is the driver of the SUV because he ran a guy down and killed him. Well, he ran a guy down and killed him at the urging of the mother of the kid who had apparently had her picture taken. Not really. Sullivan had actually just been joking when he pretended to take her picture with his cell phone, which didn't apparently have a working camera. But what if he had taken her picture? What if he had been stopped to text his son, which is what he had done. The young girl approached him, and being a cautious and politically aware fellow, knowing the problems that can face a man in a social interaction if somebody gets the wrong idea and throws an accusation, what if he had taken the picture of that girl to go, well, this is the kid who approached me, so that he had a record? What if he had done that? Or what if the kid had some sort of friendly interaction? Maybe they knew each other. Maybe he worked somewhere that she frequented and they said hi to each other from time to time and he took her picture. Completely innocent, okay? Now, there's a possibility that a picture taken of a young child can be for a nefarious purpose. The guy could be, a sexual deviant. But that's a very rare occurrence. Most of the time, people taking pictures are doing so for completely innocent reasons, even when the person taking a picture is an adult and the person in the picture is a child. So, the mother who initiated this vigilante killing is probably not going to be charged with a crime. She's probably not going to be named in any journalism, in any news reporting. She probably doesn't think of herself as a criminal who initiated a vigilante killing. We don't see the proxy initiation of violence, including murder, as violence unless the person doing a proxy initiation of violence is male. And the common example that is understandable to most people is a member of a criminal organization putting a hit on somebody. Sort of the Godfather movie. Make him an offer he can't refuse. Send him a message. Go talk to that guy. All of which are euphemisms in Hollywood, in mobster movies, for go kill that guy. Well, we don't recognize go kill that guy when a woman is the initiator. When the woman is the one that says, in plausibly deniable language, that person has offended me, murder him. But that's what this woman did. When she said to the driver of that SUV, that guy took a picture of my daughter, he's a pervert, or some statement similar to that. Well, vigilante killing, vigilante violence, is now normal, at least in Canada. And one more thing. I think there are probably not very many people watching this channel who identify as social justice warriors or practitioners or advocates or whatever you want to call it. People for whom the concept of social justice is a really good thing. I'm the enemy to them. And there might be a few watching, sort of hate watching me, like keeping an eye on the bad guy, because I'm the bad guy, right? Well, for those few of you watching this who recognize yourself as some form of a social justice warrior, I got some bad news for you. What you really are is a vigilante. And vigilantes belong in jail. Sorry to burst your bubble. And to everybody else, thanks very much for watching and have a lovely, lovely day.